Good morning, happy Tuesday, and happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. It's a spooky morning because it's 7:30 something and it's still this dark. So I got my flashlight. I would like to say that an overwhelming majority, and by I mean overwhelming majority, I mean everybody voted for the pumpkin colored shirt. Everybody. I think there was only one person that said whichever. Everybody else said pumpkin. So that's what I'm wearing. Not that you can tell because it's still dark. I would also like to say that I was like, should I put on a coat? And I looked at my weather app and my weather app said 47 degrees. And I was like, well, that's not bad. Well, it is bad when a cold front is moving in and it's very windy. Yeah, that's when it's bad. Is that scary? Ooh. Oh, my eyes look kind of wicked, don't they? Oh, anyway, there it is. And I chose my jewelry, but let me actually shine my flashlight down here in the depths of this yard and make sure there ain't no critters. There's funny sounds coming from over there, but we're not going over there. Anyway, my mother absolutely loved Halloween. I found a picture the other day of me as a tiny one standing next to her witch. She basically built a cross of sorts. It was a stick in the ground, and then there was a stick going across. And I think she had some sort of styrofoam head that she impaled with the stick, and it had a wig and it had a witch's mask on it, and then she would wrap it in this black cape and it would sit right in front of our kitchen window, and then she played eerie music. This would have been back in the 70s, 60s, 70s. She'd play that, and she had all kinds of scary stuff. And all the kids loved to come to our house because, you know, she really decorated it up. And of course she bought the good candy. I was like, don't be buying that crap candy. Nobody wants Necco wafers. I mean, maybe some of y'all do, but none of us wanted Necco wafers, whatever they're called. Anyway, so I found this picture, well, two pictures. One is me standing by the witch, and the other one, I'm wearing my Casper the Friendly Ghost costume. These kids today, they don't know how good they've got it, because those plastic masks, and they had those tiny little holes for your eyeballs, and a tiny little hole like this big for your mouth. I'm surprised we didn't kill ourselves with carbon monoxide poisoning, because we were basically breathing our air back in, you know. But you were producing all this moisture inside the mask because of your hot breath in there. And in Georgia, you never know if it's going to be 80 or 40. It was kind of better if it was warm, because there's nothing worse than producing your own storm inside your mask and then it being cold because you felt like your face was about to freeze off. But anyway, then my mother would also dress up as a witch, and she cackled like a witch. She had that witch cackle down pat. She loved Halloween. My nephew loves Halloween. I wish I could remember his costume this year. It was from Harry Potter, but I can't remember. Voldemort? Is that the name? Voldemort? Anyway, they have a party every year at their business, and that's what he did this year. Last year, he was the Queen of England. Tiara. No, it's not called a tiara for the Queen. It was a crown. It was a crown upon his head, and he had on makeup, and he had on a dress. Yeah, he was the Queen of England. But he's had some really scary costumes. But one time, he was hiding in my closet, and he was dressed like, oh, who is it? Was it Michael Myers, or was it Jason? Might have been Jason. I don't remember. It was one of those. And when I opened my closet door, there he stood. No, that's not how it went. Sorry. He was at the basement door, and I saw him and screamed and let him in. Well, then he went and hid in the closet in the basement, and I called Mom down and said, will you go look in that closet and see if you can find such and such? Because I can't find it. And she went and opened the door, and he jumped out at her. Scared the Jesus out of her. And then she started laughing because she was all for the Halloween pranks, you know. But anyway, it was just always fun at Halloween because she always made it special and cooked, and we always had vegetable soup on Halloween. Always vegetable soup. I don't know why, but that was her meal for Halloween. But anyway, some of the costumes that we came up with were hilarious, especially as I got older and got out of the plastic mask phase. Ugh, those were horrible. But the maddest my nephew got was when we dressed him up. I mean, he was probably 3, 4. He was so mad because we dressed him up as Santa Claus. He had on little red sweatpants that we stuffed with cotton, and then a red sweatshirt that we stuffed, and he had a mustache and a beard and white hair. It was so cute. But he was so mad that he wouldn't even go to the door to get his candy because he was embarrassed. That young, he was embarrassed of his Halloween costume. But anyway, it was just fun growing up. And then we lived 2 streets back that way, and we would walk all the way up to the top of this hill because they always had, their whole backyard was a Halloween party, and they had apple bobbing and the witch's cauldron with the dry ice in it. And anyway, you went around their whole backyard. It had different stations that you went to, and you could pick out like a piece of, it was jewelry, but it was the edible jewelry, you know. And anyway, it was just so much fun. Poor kids today. I mean, trunk or treats are fun. It's just not the same, you know. There was nothing like being turned loose as a child to run the whole neighborhood. My mom didn't go with us. She stayed home and handed out candy. It would just be a group of kids, 10 years old, wandering the whole neighborhood. And it's a big neighborhood. I don't get to do that anymore. But we do have did have a guy that has like a tractor with a hay trailer, and he pulls it all over the neighborhood. Would you please come with me? And he has all these kids sitting in the back of the hay trailer, and then he'll stop and they'll hit all 4, 6 houses in that little area, and then they'll all run back and jump on the trailer, and he'll drive to the next, you know, group of houses. So that's always fun. But I just never know if anybody's ever going to come to my house. My driveway is not that long, okay? It's not that long, but it's not very well lit. I mean, even though I turn on the lights, kids will go right by and go to their house and their house. And I'll just be sitting out here with a box of candy. Last year I went down to the street and sat because I was like, y'all gonna get some of this candy this year because I cannot keep all this candy. Speaking of which, I need to pull out my Mounds. Almond Joys have nuts. Mounds don't. I actually think these are Almond Joys and not Mounds. Whatever, I need to pull those out. Kids ain't gonna like those, right? It's really for their well-being. Can you please go in the house? Thank you. Okay, hold on, I'll be back. Hi, don't worry about the boxes in the back of the car, okay? I just saw Joan. She said, where's your coat? I said, well, I don't want to have to worry with a coat today. I mean, it's going to be 60, I think. I mean, it's 47 now. I think it's going to be 60, even though it's probably going to be a cold 60. Y'all know what I mean by cold 60? Because there's a warm 60 and there's a cold 60. Don't argue with me, okay? Because there is. Because it's a cold 47 right now. But I told her, I said, I don't want to mess with a coat. I don't want to have to carry a coat around. Especially, well, oh, there's stuff flying all over. you couldn't have waited till I got by and before you pulled out in front of me? That's cool. I mean, that's fine. Anyway, the boxes. Focus, Tracy. I thought it would be a great idea, instead of loading the boxes in the house and bringing them to the car to take to work, to take to donate, that I would bring the stuff to the car. And that way I'm not having to lift all this stuff. Isn't that brilliant? It's brilliant. However, I look like I'm moving because I have so many boxes riding around in the back of my car because I'm still loading up stuff to donate. Good night, you scared me to death. It's the garbage truck. What is banging on your truck, sir? It's very loud. Oh, gosh, did y'all hear that? Whew. Anyway, well, back to Halloween, other than my nephew scaring us. That was so funny. But we just always enjoyed it so much growing up because of the effort she put into it. And we were never afraid. It was never made out to be anything evil. And then when the church started having their trunk or treats, she would get all dressed, well, as did I. We got all dressed up and we would decorate our trunks and we would go sit at the church and hand out candy. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do that. But it was just so special growing up in a time when you could actually go run the streets and be safe and knock on strangers' doors to get candy. Yeah, it was just a fun time to grow up. That's water that I picked up at Costco that's flying around back there with all my other stuff. I'm really like Sanford and Son. Ba-da-ba-da-bump. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bump. Ba-da-ba-da-bump. Anyway, but you know what? I don't think I was ever like a Disney princess. I was nothing like that. I was always tried to be scary. Casper the Friendly Ghost, my butt. I looked back at that costume and it's not scary. I mean, it's not friendly at all. That was a scary costume. And I was little. I think we were still in the first house. And we moved to the second house when I was 6. Maybe we were in the second house, but it's hard to tell with me because I was so tiny how old I was, because I looked 3, but I was actually like 7, you know? So anyway. Now, my dad would dress up, sort of, not really, but for the trunk or treat, he would wear this great big giant, like a top hat that has like lights and sequins, and he'd have a big like clown nose on. That was about all he dressed up. He didn't do costumes or anything. But my mom's last Halloween trunk or treat, she dressed up like a bag lady of sorts, and none of her clothes matched. She had these teeth, like these really disgusting Bubba teeth, I think's what they call them. And then she painted black eyeshadow all around her eyes. It was so cute. But when she would smile, people would just holler with laughter. It was so funny. But one of my memories, I think from yesterday or the day before, was her asking me, "Have you seen my teeth?" And I was like, what? Because she did have partials, but she usually kept them in. She would take them out at night, but as soon as she got up in the morning, she put them back in, and they were mostly just back teeth to help her chew, you know? I was like, "They're not in your mouth?" And she goes, "Uh-uh." I said, "Well, no, I mean, are they still in the cup?" "Not those teeth." I was like, what? I mean, my grandmother, Mary Frances, lost her teeth one time, and we all went up there and tore the whole house apart looking for her teeth. And then we offered her some teeth, and they turned out to be, I guess, my deceased grandfather's teeth, because they didn't fit her. I don't know whose teeth they were, but they were in a drawer. And the whole time that we tore apart her house looking for her teeth, they were in the pocket of her muumuu. Yeah, they were in the pocket of her muumuu all day while we were tearing the house apart. And then she was like, oh, well, here they are. So this is what I'm thinking when my mom says, have you seen my teeth? I was like, I mean, is this gonna be a replay of going to Fran's house and looking for her teeth? Are they in your pocket? But she was looking for her Bubba teeth. Yeah, she was a mess. She was a mess. If I can find that picture, I'll include that one too. But I'm gonna include me by the witch and me with my Casper the Friendly Ghost costume. Look at the face on it. That was not a friendly ghost. I was like, that's terrifying. But anyway, I'm at work. So I'm going to end it here because I think I've rambled on long enough. I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries. Hit the like button. By the way, Gigi is back. Her page is on YouTube and it is called Chat with Gigi. Now, when you pull that up, it's going to pull up a bunch of Paw Paw's videos with Gigi in them. But if you scroll on down, it's going to have her actual page. It's going to have her picture and the name of her page. Tap on that and hit subscribe. And she's posted 2 videos already. This is for the people who followed her on Facebook. Her page got taken over by buttholes. So, anyway, that's it. I'm not saying bye again, so bye again.